Click to go live now.
Yeah.
All right, now we're starting. Alrighty. Hello. Good morning. What's up, everyone? Let me just let everybody else know that we are live now before we get into a conversation. If you don't mind, just throw in chat that you guys are able to hear me and see the screen. Give everybody a quick alert to let them know that we are live now. And let me also throw this in the Discord as well. Alrighty. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello. I have a surprise for you guys this morning. I'll give just a couple minutes for people to join. Hello, hello. I hope everybody's week is going well. Hope everybody's day is going well. Hello, hello. Alex, what's up, man? The Unicorn Queen, good to see you again. Bruno, Andrew, hello, hello. Mr. Black, what's up, everyone? I hope everybody's week is going well so far. Jimmy, what's up, man? Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? We could hop right into the conversation here. There are quite a few people that are here already, and we are at New York Open. I'm very excited to announce that we have a special guest today. Everybody is very familiar with him. He is a phenomenal trader, and the consistency and value in his information is highly valuable. So I'm very excited to get a chance to speak with him. If everybody could welcome Brian Stonks. He is here with us on the call today. Good morning, Brian. How are you doing today?
Hello, hello. Good morning to everyone.
Thank you for
How are you?
Thank you for joining us. I'm very excited to ask you some questions regarding copy trading, regarding some of the nuances that go into it. I think it's some very valuable information that a lot of people can obtain, considering the Apex discount that's going on right now. Just before we get into it, if anybody hasn't already, I highly suggest you go and follow Brian's Twitter and YouTube. If you go to the description of this video, you'll see the link to Brian's socials. Click on that link, follow his Twitter, follow his YouTube. The man is very valuable with his information. I highly suggest following him. Let me turn up Brian's volume. Some people are saying it's lower.
See if that's better, guys.
All right, give Brian a thumbs up if he sounds better now.
Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Volume's low for both the ears, someone said. We just gotta make sure the volume for both of us are calibrated together.
Perfect. Let me turn both of them up a little bit more, see if that helps.
They sound better. Looks good.
Very good. So before I get into any questions, Brian, if you want to introduce yourself, let us know kind of what you've been doing, how you've been going about it.
Hello, this is Brian Stock, and I am a futures trader who has been more focused on the prop side of things, mainly the future side. And I am here to share my expertise and experience in trade copying and fund accounts and just effective strategies to go about that. And I also live trade on YouTube.
Thank you again for your time. I greatly appreciate you spending this morning with us. We saw that you passed some accounts this morning. Phenomenal job, I have to say.
Yeah.
Would like to ask you some questions regarding the copy trading. I personally don't copy trade. So for somebody that's potentially looking to get started with copy trading, I figured it would be best to do our due diligence first in obtaining
Yeah.
this information instead of just blindly jumping in.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, yeah, go ahead.
so what I was going to start with was if you could point out maybe where the best copy trading is, maybe then go into how to set it up. That way people can recognize the process and how to move forward in their first steps of copy trading.
Yeah, so the main trade copier that I've used many throughout the years. I've been trading prop firms for the last 2.5 years, and the reason I got trade copying is because of prop firms. There's a lot of prop firms out there, and there's a lot of funded accounts, and it's hard to manage all of them at once instead of just like one live account. So that's why you explore more in the trade copying side. Um, and we can name the common few, like the trade copier from Tradingview Group Trading is there. I think the Apex has a version too that's similar to the one that I use, but more of an inferior version. And this Quant Tower too, I think that's also standard. But the one that I use mainly is NinjaTrader. It's an add-on on NinjaTrader. It's called Replicanto, and I have a tutorial on that setup on my YouTube channel there, just like an 8-minute quick setup guide. But the purpose of the NinjaTrader Replicanto and why it's superior to the others is because you can connect unlimited TradeVate connection and one Rhythmic connection. So knowing that, you can just bypass and kind of adapt your prop firms in your live count to the NinjaTrader connections. So the way that I have it set up, I've funded with I think 4 or 5 of the features, the popular ones, and I also have a live account on TradeVate, and setting up properly, you can actually connect all 5 of them plus my live count, so 6 counts total or 6 total connections, a total of like 30-40 fund accounts potentially, especially after like the 20 Apex max that we passed this morning, which I've been working slowly on. Using the trade copy there with NinjaTrader, you can have that all set up, and there's a lot of parameters you can do and a lot of features that we could discuss about. If you have different sizing, let's say one has 50K funded account, and the other is 150K, even the 250K one, which is like larger drawdown, so you're likely going to do more sizing on it. You can actually change the ratio of it. So one contract on a 50K account, you can copy that to the 250K Apex count, and it'll be 3 contracts instead, or 4. Or the ratio can be there. It can be changed through percentage. It can change the many things, and even beyond that, you can also set it up with the parameters on the trade copier of Replicanto, where you can trade directly on Tradingview, and that's what I've been doing on my YouTube live streams, where I'll just show a live stream screen share of my Tradingview, and if I make one limit order or market order, anything like that, it would actually copy through all my fund accounts, which I don't copy entirely. I typically just do like about 60% of it, just to reduce my risk exposure. But yeah, just one entry on my Tradingview, which I have logged in through Tradingview, because with Tradingview, you can log through Tradingview. So you just need one master account, and any orders you do with your parameters, you can just copy through every single your account, even your live account if you wish. And that's the most effective trading system that I found out. I've been using the group trading through Tradingview for the last like year and a half in my early career. And since I switched over to Replicanto, it's been like, I guess, another year and a half now. It's been phenomenal, and like much less issues, and just more capabilities, which is the main purpose of what we're doing with trade copy.
So if I heard
Oh,
that correctly, it sounds like it doesn't matter what platform we're on. It could even be personal accounts. We could copy trade them all on that platform. And is there a max amount of accounts?
yeah. So the last question, the max amount, it's only unlimited Tradingview connection and one Rhythmic connection, and there's no limit to the copied account amount. So like some firms, you can have unlimited evaluation. You can buy like 100 Apex accounts and then copy trade all of them at once with your fund accounts if you wish. And the second part of that, what was the first part? I think I just did a brain fart there.
That it could be funded accounts, it could be personal accounts.
Yeah. So you can trade across. You can choose basically a master account, and I think the main premise was you can trade any platform. The only downside or configuration that you have to do, you have to set the parameters to NinjaTrader, and have that running on the background or through a VPS, which is essentially like a virtual PC basically, where it'll just run infinitely even if your computer's off. If you have the parameters set up, you can just trade on whatever platform you want, as long as as long as you're making trades on the master account. So it could be through your phone, it could be through Tradingview mobile, it could be Tradingview mobile, it could be Tradingview itself. Whatever order you do, it will replicate through the trade copier. And besides that, like you wouldn't want to do like market orders because there's gonna be some lag. I guess like if you do market order here, maybe the other accounts won't get the same exact fill. But if you just do limit orders, it's gonna be perfect fills every time.
So now the next question that brings me to is that when you're copy trading, does that mean you have to trade on that platform, or can you copy trade on TradingView? Because I know a lot of individuals, especially myself, enjoy the fact that you can trade directly off of TradingView. Do you have
Yeah,
that capability with that trade copier?
yeah, that's exactly what I do on the live streams. Like I just trade on TradingView itself. I don't personally use TradingView as much because I'm more fond with the broker itself. But since the viewers are more adapted to the TradingView, I use TradingView to chart and I execute on my broker. But you can just execute on TradingView itself as long as you have the parameters with the trade copier, have all that set on the background or a VPS. Whatever you do on the TradingView or the master account, whether it's any platform, it'll copy all the orders and direct it to the NinjaTrader.
Very good. Does that come with a fee, or because I don't know if you spoke about the Tradivate trade copier, but
Yeah,
I don't believe the Tradivate trade copier. Now I don't. Here's a completely separate question to this question, but I don't know the efficiency between the two platforms. I don't know which one executes more efficiently. But where I was going with this is I do know that the Tradivate doesn't request any kind of fee, that you could
yeah,
do a group trade without having to spend anything additionally.
yeah. So the group trading on TradeVate, it's free, but it's also more sluggish. It's more hard to configure, and it also is more prone to issues. The year and a half that I've been using it, in the first half of my prop career when trading it, there's many times where I exit orders, and some of the accounts actually did not exit through, versus the current Replicanto every time works flawlessly. And to add to that, it's free on group trading. Replicanto, there's a one-time fee, and the one-time fee is only I think it's $200, but I think I have the discount code is like 20% off, so it goes from 200 to $160. And it's a one-time fee, lifetime. I've been using it for a year and a half, so it's a worthwhile investment. I would still use it if it's like $100 a month, but it just basically $160. You can use it for the rest of your life. And if you want additional trade copier license to it, like I just bought one last week for my laptop because I got a new laptop. It only costs additional $90. So it's 160 for the first one, $90 for the second one, and then additionally if you want more and more.
Now, if you were to have started your copy trading on the Tradivate platform, can you still transfer those accounts to the other trade copier?
Yeah, so you can use the trade card itself is just like a third party thing. It's not like something like that's tied to it. So you could actually just use as many trade copies as you want. simultaneously if you want. Maybe the orders would kind of interfere a little bit, but the premise of it, the trade copier is serves the purpose of just replicating orders given, and it's not tied to any account. So like you can choose if you don't like the group trading, you can switch the one that I use, or you can switch to the Apex one. You can switch to anything as long as it allows the connection. So for Tradivate, it tends to connect to most of the trade copier. Um, and there's other like Quant Tower has their own trade copier. TopStep X actually implemented their own trade copier, and that's also decent too. But it's based on the bracket order. The main issue with the group trading on Tradivate is you can't do bracket orders, and that is a important thing that most people have a downside with, and that's why a lot of people are against it.
Very good. So when you said that you need to make sure that it can connect to that trade copier, obviously it's going to provide some kind of alert or signal showing you that it has or hasn't been connected yet, right? Like,
Yeah.
just to make sure we know whether it's compatible. I don't know what the right word is. Compatible for that trade copier. Will they let us know if it's not?
Yeah. Well, the
Like
trade
is there
copier
going to
is
be like an error message
exclusive
that pops
to.
up or something?
Well, not necessarily. It's basically if you can't connect or not. The the trade copier is exclusive to the platform. So if you want to use Tradivate group trading, you can only use Tradivate accounts, and it's limited to that one login. So you can't actually copy trade across multiple firms. It's only that one login from that one firm. Whereas the NinjaTrader, as long as you're able to connect to NinjaTrader, you're able to copy trade because the NinjaTrader trade copier is an add-on. The Replicanto tool is an add-on to NinjaTrader. So as long as you're able to connect to the NinjaTrader platform itself, you're able to use the trade copier for any of whether it's prop accounts or live account or fund accounts evals from multiple firms, as long as you're able to connect to the platform itself. So the first step is connecting to the platform, which you can see usually like the firm would tell you like, oh, you can connect an NinjaTrader, you cannot connect to it. Um, TopStep is the only firm that I'm aware of that if you have a Trading connection, you cannot connect to NinjaTrader. Every other firm, every other account, you can do that. So that's also another main point if you do want to copy trade across multiple firms. So like it's exclusive to the platform, and then after that, the trade copier would just work on its own as an add-on to that broker.
And when you're referring to that specific account, that you're referring to whatever account you set up as the lead account.
Yeah,
Correct?
and you can have multiple lead accounts. So like the accounts I was trading on Apex, like if I had like 20 accounts and I don't want to trade all 20 at once, I can break it into sets. So I could do like sets of 4 with 5 accounts each, or I could do 2 sets, 10 accounts each, and it'd be 2 leaders. And as long as I execute on the leader account, it'll copy it through with the parameters of the one I set to, which is 10 on 10.
Now, what exactly are the steps to creating the lead account? Like, if you don't mind just walking through how to set
Yeah.
up.
So like once you set up the Replicanto trade copier, there's gonna be like a window for Replicanto. All you gotta do, there's gonna be like a select your leader account. You select it, and then on the next window or the same window on the right side, it'll show like click which account you want to be the follower. So you're able to click one leader and then as many followers you want. And after that, like you can also choose for individual one if you want to change the copying parameters. So like if you want like a certain account to copy trade twice as much or half as much or even micros. Like let's say your leader account does micros, and then you can copy some accounts trading minis, and it's a very a big tool where like there's a lot of capabilities. For me, I kind of just stick to the bare bones. I just copy 1 to 1. If anything, I'll just change the large account to 2 to 1. So like every contract I trade on the master account, maybe I'll do double on the bigger accounts. That's the only thing I do. But like there's many more capabilities, and they all the guys that developed the trade copy rep console, they've been updating their software like basically twice a week, or not twice a week, bi-weekly, and there's always new features. So something that happened like 2 months ago, it's gonna be something new later, which has been helping. There's been a lot of tools where if the trade copier does not work or does not trade copy properly, it'll just disconnect, and instead of like losing or messing up on that copy trade, it will just disconnect and not allow you to eat up that loss from that technical issue. So a lot of safeguard have been implemented lately.
So now I know this is a very beginner question, but it's only because I haven't done trade copying myself, and the reason for this call and question and answer is because I'm interested in beginning it. So again, I want to make sure I'm doing my due diligence beforehand. Um, Obviously, when you're setting orders, that means you're just setting orders across all accounts as long as it's on the lead account.
Yeah, so whatever you do, whatever trade style you do on the leader count, it'll just redirect with a trade copier. It'll just going to redirect to each one of your parameters account that you have connected to that trade copier.
Right. So
So it's very
if you're
simplistic there.
clicking
Like,
market enter on one, it's going to market enter on all of them. Or if you're
yeah,
clicking
and
limit sell on one, it's going to put limits across the board.
yeah, once again, the limitation with market orders, if you market on the leader count, maybe it'll be like that half second lag, where if the candles are moving fast, the leader count can get filled like let's say at 200, and then the other count could get filled like a point lower. And I guess every point could matter, and like you don't want to rely on the lag, that half second, because once you put that order in, it's gonna take like probably half a second for it to implement on the other side. And that's why I just do limit order. So like if you do a limit order at like 200 and the price is at 190, it's gonna already set it on all the counts, so all the fills are gonna be the same.
See, and that right there is the little nuance that I really appreciate you taking your time coming on here to speak to us about,
Yeah.
because people are going to be sitting there and with the emotions already heightened just because it's trading, they're going to be sitting there saying, oh, I just market ordered, but the order's not going through. Let me click on the button again to see if it goes through this time. And then next thing you know it, you were ordering one contract and all of a sudden you have three, and now your risk management's all over the place, and
Yeah.
the snowball keeps snowballing.
I will say, with the other trade copies I use, like the main one was the group trading on TradeVate. There was like every like 2 months there will be a technical issue that will cause me to like not it's at that mental error, I guess, where it's not your fault because like I have everything set up properly. I have my stop orders. Let's say one of the accounts didn't copy, and now instead of taking that like $300 loss, it didn't take that stop, and now you see like a few of your accounts or all your accounts like minus 1,000, minus 2,000, and like you, since it's not your fault, like I guess I'm more prone to like revenge, be emotional and like not think correctly, and you really don't want an issue with your trading system that's not like your fault. So that's why you want to choose the superior copier, even if it's like a premium product, which is only $160.
So, and that goes to everybody that's here listening, that if you think you're already doing your due diligence and showing up and getting your pre-market analysis in, this adds another layer of due diligence, showing up and making sure your trade copier is set to go, making sure the connections are working properly.
Yes,
It's not
yes.
like you're just showing up to place a trade anymore. It's, there's a whole nother layer of due diligence that needs to be completed before any buttons are pressed.
Yeah. Another thing to note also, like there's two things I want to note. There's the free version of TradeVate. There's an Apex version of Rep Console, which is basically a white label with it. I think it's like half the price. I think it was like 80 bucks per like of a lifetime fee. You don't want to cheap out on something that is going to affect your whole trading style, and it could really. I've seen a lot of people mess up with Apex Trade Copier when like you just pay like a little bit more for the superior version. And the other note, while you're trading like 20 accounts, let's say you trade 20 accounts, funded accounts even, or evals, you want to keep on having a note and practice of like going the orders and making sure everything's going well. I have a habit of doing that. So like every time I shut off the computer, I just close all my orders just to make sure everything's cleared. I check if I have open positions, and the NinjaTrader itself, like you're able to connect through all your prop firms, so you can see things clearly. So you can filter your tabs and configure it where it'll show you if there's any existing orders currently open, and just having like an eye at that just in case like maybe something went wrong, which it does happen. You can spot that instead of letting the mistake realize. You can just spot that and just close it and make sure.
I really appreciate you going over all this information with us again. I
Yep.
do have to say it's not you're going into great detail, and you're not just saying, "Hey, go get them. let's see,
Yeah.
let's see what you're made of." You're actually providing the information that is regarding the risk management that's not on the screen. Again, it's not like we're just looking at P&L, like we're going through the technicals of the system, and that's outside of the scope of trading. For
Yeah.
some people that haven't done all this trade copying, those are going to be the little nuances that, send them into an impulsive rage because it's out of their control and they don't
Yeah.
know what's going on. So,
Yeah, and that happened to me multiple times, and it does not feel good because like if you're doing everything right and your system fails because of a technical issue, you really don't like if you think you're doing everything and know like all your mistakes, like something like that can set you off and like you could have the best week of your life trading and that one mistake not even your fault, it's just a technical issue, could just throw that away and like it really snowballs to more mistakes. I've always like talked about my problems with mental errors where like something happens without my control and like let's say I try to size with one contract, there's times where the trade copier double the size or triple the size and I'm like what is happening, and that does not let me think properly or execute properly.
man, that sounds like a whole nother level of tilt because there's
Yeah.
nothing worse than it not even being your fault.
Yeah.
Imagine following your entire set of rules or following your trading system, and then a technical issue is what, creates the error.
You just want to make a note and a habit of like just the right habits while you trade copying. Let's say like every time you log off, just check your orders, just check if there's any active things. Apex, in fact, like if you let's say you have an open order in and it get filled, once market close, the futures close. If you have any open position, some firms may just close out themselves. Other firms would actually liquidate you and fail that account because of that. I've seen some of my followers or some of my community members where they have like that payout, they're way past the threshold, 5,000 profits in each, and they have one order open accidentally or something, and they didn't see it because they already left, they already made their money, and once they'll get the email like a few hours later after market close saying they failed because either they got below the threshold, which they weren't, or they had open position, and that's where it gets dangerous.
Guys, I do have to say once again, I mean, this is just pure alpha. I'm just very appreciative of this. If you haven't already, you got to go into the description of this video and grab Brian's socials. It's just so much value in terms of scaling. That's compounding is such a strong tool, and that's why I wanted to start to speak about this conversation
Yeah,
because your trading style should remain the same. The thing that creates the progress in trading is compounding. And
yeah,
that's why we're having this topic of discussion today. And, you know, Brian's had a lot of experience with this. So I highly suggest you go into the description of this video, grab his socials, go follow him on Twitter, go follow him on YouTube. The man's been doing it for years at this point. So
yeah,
I'm take it very seriously. These little nuances are what we need before we hop into this kind of business.
yeah.
Um,
I guess I'll add some little bit more things I've been seeing in the chat. Just because you have the capability of the trade copier, you can connect to multiple accounts. You can have 20 Apex accounts or Fun accounts. Doesn't mean to go for all of it at once. Also, it's something more about your planning. So, like, if you're not able to even hold one Fun account, you're not gonna be able to control 10 of them. And the way that I've been doing it, I have the capability to get 20 accounts or 20 funded on Apex easily, but for me, my mental, I don't like controlling that much at once that quickly. So I've been just slowly adding and adding. So I started with I think 4 2 months ago, and I added 2 more each month, and I'm at 10 right now, and I passed a handful today. But just slowly building up is going to be the way that you want to kind of run things. And to add to that too, if you're trading on multiple accounts, I think someone mentioned like the different accounts. There's that setting where you can change the copying trading style. So like one contract on your main account, which is like let's say it's a 50K account, it could copy through 3 times as much on your large account. That's also another possibility too. Um, yeah, I think that's what I want to add.
so one of the questions that I saw in the chat that I'm also interested in is, so if the lead account is a larger account, so you might
Yeah,
have we'll just use 2 contracts instead of 1. So let's say the lead account is a 100K account or a 250K account. It's either way, whatever account larger than the rest of the accounts. The rest of the accounts are 50K accounts. So you're really only trying to use 1 contract in the rest of the accounts. If we're looking to trim on that larger account, that means it's going to close the rest of the accounts, right? So if you have only 1 contract on the smaller accounts, but you have 2 contracts on the larger account, when you go to trim, it's going to close everything else except for that lead account, correct?
Yes, but if you change the right parameters, let's say that in that scenario, like you're trading on a normal account, a 50K account, and then you want to copy on a large account and a smaller account. What you could do is change the ratio and also change the configuration. If you're trading minis on your main account, let's say 2 minis, like you said, you can actually change it to micros on a smaller account and then also change the ratio. And the way that you want to set up, you want to set the leader count to be the smallest ratio, and then any copy that you want to do, you want to multiply that. So it'd be a multiple. It could be 1 account could be 2 times whatever you do here. If you do 2 contracts, this one would be 4. And then you also change it in double ways, where the main account can do 2 minis. We can change the smaller one to do micros, but in a multiple. So it'll be 2 minis main account, 6 micros on the smaller account. It'll be 3 times multiple, but it's also mini to micros. So if you plan it out and set it up the way that you want it, and another thing, like the account size doesn't matter. You want to look at the drawdown. So like a bigger account, you're not gonna times 3 because it's like 50K. You're not gonna times 5. You want to look at the drawdown and calculate the risk tolerance. And that's kind of what I think the main thing in my trading style. I kind of risk about like 8 to 10% of my total drawdown per trade. So if I have 2,500 drawdown on a 50K fund account, I'll risk about $200 to $250 per trade. So going about that way, you can configure that to your other large accounts or small accounts. And once you calculate it, you have the parameters. In IndiTrader, you can save every single parameter. So you log in the next day, all your settings will already be saved. So you're ready to go right away.
Very good. That's good to know. It's definitely going to be another measure in terms of risk management. It's just good to know that we still have all the capabilities of normal trading with the copy trading as well. That I'm trying to basically what I'm trying to do is find the limitations or the obstacles or again any of the nuances before I jump into this.
Yeah. I guess we could talk about another important topic. I feel like there's gonna be firms, different prop firms with different rules. One could be trailing, one could be end of day, one could be static, and one trading style could be affected by the other one. That's why you want to research and know the background of the firm, the payout policy, and all that stuff, the structure of it, and then plan it accordingly. Where the trailing wouldn't matter if you are risking under 10% because the trailing would be non-existent because you're gonna make 200, you're gonna lose 200, you're gonna make 200, make 300, make 300. Like it's gonna get replenished. But if you size aggressively and do like 5 minis, like or oversize where you're sizing 20 to 25%, that trailing would matter. Like your other account might survive from end of day, but the trailing one could be the one that fails just because they got trailed out because you're sizing too hard. So the main thing is about planning everything. You want to plan what is your leader account. You want to plan if you want to copy a certain size, if you want to copy a certain risk parameter. All these things is going to be doing your homework beforehand, and then once market time, you need to be already prepared, everything set up, and once you have that, like it's just gonna be as simple as trading one account, copy it through 10, 20, 30 accounts, or you even make $200 on one main account. It could copy through $200, 50, $600 if you're doing 3 multiples. Times that by like 10, 20 accounts. The capabilities is endless there, and you're really just focused on one account. You can trade it as your live account even, and then just copy it through your other fund accounts. So I think the most important part is just planning. You get to plan your risk tolerance. You plan what trade you're copying, what size, what's the risk per trade. All that things is going to be needed to be done before you start trading.
Now that we got kind of onto the topic of the different challenges, maybe we could even then go into some of the apex rules because from a spectator's perspective, it looks like the majority of people choose to go with apex when it comes to copy trading because of their whole 20 accounts
Yeah,
available to copy trade. So uh, the current deal is what, the
90%
250K
off.
account. If you want to,
Yeah,
if you don't mind going over like the 250K account, and for anybody that's in chat, again, his links are in the description of this video. So if you are going to grab any, go check out that link. But he's going to run down the 250K account real quick. Maybe
yeah.
that will help give some guidance on that challenge.
Yeah, so like I guess we can go over the deal first. It's 90% off all the challenges, but specifically to the 250K account, it's gonna be the same pricing as a 50K account, which is like basically it's like 98% off, 97% off on that specific account. Um, the drawdown they give you is 6,500. It's trailing drawdown, so it's gonna be peaked at your highest balance. So let's say you make 7,000, you go back to break even. That's where you're blown already. If it's end of day, the account will still be alive. So you want to keep that in mind and like know more about trailing drawdown if you don't understand it. Besides that, it's 15,000 profit target. So the profit to drawdown ratio is like about 2.5. So it's more challenging than other accounts. The 50K account is more like nearly 1 to 1, so it's easier pass. This one you really have to expect a lower pass rate if you're trying to trade them slowly and size appropriately, and expect like since it's 2.5 profit target because and on top of that, it's trailing drawdown. Even with a 20-25% win rate or pass rate would still be phenomenal there. But besides that, if you pass the evals, 15K profit target, it on the funded stage, it's basically 1-on-1. You have 6,500 drawdown, and if you get above 6,500 profit, you can start getting your payout. All you need is plus 100 of the drawdown for most of the future firms. So just get through the evals, however you want to do it. If you want to take advantage of the volatility of the news, like today, or you want to trade them with more aggressive sizing, or just the normal sizing you funded, as long as you get through the evals appropriately and like not try to YOLO it, the funded stage is 1-to-1. So the in this Apex deal, I think what they're trying to trap people is that people are gonna be rushed to try to pass a 250K account, but you only have 5 days to pass them to take advantage of the activation fee, which is $85 instead of 320. So that's also another promo there too. There's a double promo there, and I think it's like one of the best deals Apex even dropped. Um, Besides that, once you get past the evals, the fund is 1-to-1, and that's where it's like in your favor now. So if you had like what I usually do on this deal, especially, I'll get like 50 counts. I'll try to pass 10, 20 of them if I'm trying legit, and like try to do it slowly. But once at the funded stage, you build it slowly. It's a lifetime fee, so you're not rushed at all, and you can go for a few $100 a day as long as you adhere to the consistency rule, which is 30% for Apex. It's 10 trading days to request a payout. And as long as you're also above that plus 100 drawdown, which is 6,600 for this account, you can request twice a month. One opens at the start of the month, and another payout window opens at the second or in the middle half.
So you got to make 15K to pass the challenge. You have to do that before hitting the live trailing drawdown. So again, he explained the live trailing. Once you get to that 15K target, obviously they're going to take some time to process the account. So you don't instantly just start trading. Maybe it takes 24 hours or whatever for them to process the account. Then you pay what'd you say? It was $86? Is that correct? You pay the activation fee, in which the activation fee is an activation fee for each account that you have. Once the activation fee is completed, then you get into the funded account, in which you got to complete the consistency rules, which is, he said, 30% is the max profit that you can make within 1 day. And you got to reach at least 10 trading days, and you have to reach at least $6,600 into profits to withdraw any money. When you do withdraw, is there payout rules in terms of how much you can withdraw? Obviously, you already said there was only 2 withdrawals a month, which are 14 days apart or 15 days apart, whichever one you said. Just let me know if you're still there. I don't know if potentially muted, but I don't hear you this time. Yeah, so another thing to note in regards to Apex.
8 to 10%. Wait, someone said you can't hear me now.
You just came back. So after I asked
Oh,
about when I said that you have to do, $6,600 in profit, and then I asked how much can you withdraw, I didn't hear anything after that.
how long was that? Like a minute or more than that?
Only like 2 minutes at most.
Oh, okay. So what was it? The profit 6,600.
Yeah, so after you've reached the 10 trading days, after you've done the consistency rules, you're at $6,600 in profit. How much can you withdraw of that?
Each account is different. For the 250K account, it's $3,000. For the 50K account, it's $2,000. The lower count size, it tends to give you more based on the percentage. Because let's say the 50K account, all you need is $2,600 plus 100 to drawdown. You take 2,000 of that, you only have $500 to play with, and that's like nearly blowing your account. Versus the 250K account, since you have already a bigger buffer, take that $3,000 off from that 6,600, you still have $3,600 left, and that's where you can still build up. That's more than enough to come back from that. Because also another thing, once you get past that plus 100 drawdown threshold, the trailing stops. It's going to be like a normal count. So in the example, like if you hit 6,600 and then you go to 10,000 profits, you have 10,000 of drawdown, even if you go up or down. The trailing already stopped, so it's going to work as if you already have a live account with $6,600 on that, and whatever you want to do, grow that up or take the payout, it's going to work the same. So if you take the payout $3,000 minus that 3,600, that's still $3,600 of pure profit, and there's no trailing against that.
See, and I don't even want to make this statement because it's so euphoric and even saying it, which is going to lead people to be so impulsive to achieve these things. But it's the reality of this entire conversation is that, if you're using that 250K account and you reach the payout rules, if you've been approved for a payout, if you were to withdraw $3,000 on 10 accounts, 20 accounts, that's a lot of people's salaries in many places of the world.
A yearly salary in 1 month, basically. A
So,
very high salary at that too.
right. So for the people that want to take this as gambling or want to, trade impulsively, you should really recognize the seriousness of this.
Yeah.
The opportunity that's at hand is not something that a lot of people get. And that needs to be taken with, the respect and the extreme ownership that it could provide.
And with like that capability, we want to look at the stats, because like if they're selling you this dream of 20 accounts, getting like $3,000, $2,000 per payout per month, twice a month, like that's around $60,000, $80,000, even $120,000 if you do the max 25K, 250K account max per month. $120,000 per month. If everyone could do that, they would. But the stats matters, and the stats shows that like I think a year ago they posted like only 10% of people actually get a payout. So that's 90% of people trying to get to that dream of 20 accounts, getting like a life-changing check per month, but they don't get to that point because they don't have the right discipline. They're not going about it the right way. And that's where if you're able to prevail from that stat number and be disciplined and try to grow things slowly, which I think slow matters here, because it's not a rush, and it's also you versus you. So if you see someone else making a lot of payouts already, you don't know how many challenges they've been through. You don't know how many accounts they blow through. So if you want to just focus on what you're doing and trying to build that count up and slowly at that, you're more likely to beat that statistic of most people are failing. And to add final to add to that, I took a poll on Twitter and on multiple Discords. I was like, if you vote yes or vote green if you are profitable with prop firms, vote red if you're negative in prop firms. So we're negative as in like, let's say you got 5,000 to pay off this month, and you spent 8,000. You're negative 3,000 there. I took that poll, and I think there's like 200 answers, and like 85% of people were negative. So that's already another stat that's like around the people around me, because they don't have that. They're going at it more of gambling. But if you kind of go at the aspect of you growing your own account, like treat this as like a live account times 20 times whatever much, you're more likely to get the results that you're looking for if you're just more focused on yourself as well.
So now that we've gone through the trade copier, I also want to get your opinion on, in terms of value for these challenges. If people were to try to take advantage of this sale today on Apex, are you leaning towards the 250K sale, or is having 20 50K accounts better, or is having 20 250K accounts better? Is essentially the value question that I'm
So
wondering.
this is gonna matter based on your experience level, basically. Because the 250K promo right now, like I'm visualizing that as basically like 98% off instead of 90, because that's how good of the deal it is. But when I've talked about this on Twitter, it's basically a trap for new people or people that's eager, because the profit target is way too high for a normal person to try to pass it. If you're trying to like everyday person, you're not going to be able to pass that, because or the stats is going to be against you, because you need to make 2.5 times the profit target or the drawdown that they give you, and it's also being trailing against you. So your most people pass rate is going to be like, I would say like 10%, if not less. The 50K is going to be the best route. So like if you're new, that's probably the route that you want to take. You want to take things slowly and likely go for the lifetime billing, the activation fee instead of the monthly, so you can take your time on it. But if you're more experienced and able to pass like the 250K account, that's gonna bring the most value and the most efficiency, because of how effective the promo is. And Apex and other firms, there's gonna be promos every now and then. Your job is to distinguish when you wanna take advantage and like go for it, because Apex standard promo is now like 80% off. 90% is a new thing. 90% is like haven't been heard of for months. So that's where you start planning and started adding more accounts there. Just like other firms, every other firm would also have other promotions, and you want to have a record of it and to see like, is this really a good promo or is this a standard one? And you want to capitalize on the one that are more for your favor. And as long as the feature space gets more competitive, which is good for us because there's going to be less firms being more complacent and trying to promote like better, let's say better payout policies or lower pricing. It's going to be favorable for us, and we're lucky that the futures firm is more sustainable than the forex at the moment, because you can see all the forex firms with that's mainly unregulated with slippage and all that, they have poor control over that. The futures has been much better in the payouts and all that without any wrongful denials, and you still want to stick with the reputable firms. So Apex is a very known one. TopStep is another known one. You want to stay with the big ones rather than like seeing like a small unknown firm that with like 5,000 followers trying to sell you like 95% off, because you don't know if they're going to actually pay you out.
Now, for those 250K accounts, I know Apex says that you can have 20 of them, but is there a max allocation in terms of dollar amount, or is it just any 20 accounts?
Yeah, it's any 20 accounts. It's 20 max funded accounts, so you can have unlimited evaluation. So in the aspect that you just, let's say you buy like 50 accounts, 250K accounts, and let's say you pass all of them, surprisingly, you can activate 20 at once. 30 you can keep as reserves. The only downside is you still have to pay the monthly cost of it, the monthly rebill of it. That could help some people if you like, because I like to do bets where like I'm conservative. Let's say I have 20 accounts. I'll be conservative on 10 or 13 of them, and a few of them I want to be more aggressive, as in like I'm not risking, instead of risking 8 to 10%, I'll risk a little bit more, like 17, 18%, 20%, and try to grow that a little bit faster. And having reserves in the back of your mind really helps in like, okay, even if I make mistakes here, I have reserves. I already worked for that eval, and I can still keep going. And I also have like the main set of like that 10 to 15 main funded. I'm being conservative, so I'm willing to balance it out with a select few to be more aggressive, and that's better than trying to do both at once. Because if you try to do aggressive and conservative at the same time on their main set of funded, it's not going to go up because you can be the slowest trader and the most conservative trader and make it slowly. And at the moment you want to be aggressive, it could go against you. So that's how I balance things. I separate accounts based on sets, and I have my main set, and I have the other sets where like it could be one account or it could be like 2 or 3 where I'm trading more aggressively.
Amazing. Again, I really appreciate your time today. All the little nuances and obstacles that go into this. We need to make sure we iron them out before we even take a chance. And it's definitely something that I'm interested in. So I'm probably going to take a look into copy trading myself.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in. There's a lot of information. I'm glad that this is like posted online that you can rewatch. We've been really unpacking a lot of details and the capabilities. The traders around me in my community and like most likely the Ash community too. Some people could be doing like 5,000, 10,000 a month with a few firms or a few fund accounts, but there's going to be a select few that is more aggressive or not more aggressive, but they're more experienced, I would say, and doing more fund accounts and consistently doing like 5-figure payouts. I'm in the low 5 figures right now. I'm trying to aim to the mid right now. I like the last 6 months at least. I've been just hovering around 10 to 15 to $20,000 per month from payouts across like 15 to 20 fund accounts across three to four prop firms. But I've been slowly scaling up because I've noticed that the quicker I try to get more fund accounts, the less likely I'm able to keep them. So like if I just add them slowly, it's better for my mental rather than try to go the max allocation on every firm possible. And like I think the main thing is also pace yourself and scale appropriately. So if you had 10 accounts before, can you hold that 10 accounts? Can you get payouts and can you maintain it? And then if you can, after a few months, add a few more. And I'm at that current state where 6 months ago, I like I said, I did like 15K average. I'm able to do 25K average now, and I'm hoping to step it up a little bit, but just at my own pace. So that's why I don't have 20 PAs right now, and I'm sitting at 10, which I've been adding two at a time. That's just my preference at the moment.
Which I'm also going to add in there, which I'm only repeating him because I know that he said it earlier in this conversation. Just be certain that you stay in your own lane.
Mhm.
Everybody else around you is just noise. The only answers that you should really consider is from your own results.
Yes.
Do not allow any other people to deter you from your own abilities. It doesn't. I'm very happy that we got to speak with Brian and get all this information from him. But Brian's results are not your results. My results are not your results. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. It doesn't matter what Brian's doing. You're going to be clicking the buttons for yourself. So if you're asking questions or needing some sort of information, we can tell you information regarding the charts. We can help with education and technical analysis, provide some of these nuances for the copy trading and these prop firms. But at the end of the day, you cannot allow other people to deter you. Other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, other people's actions have nothing to do with you. So, I'm very happy that we were able to get this information, but just I want to throw out there to remember that independent thinking is the best way forward. You guys got to understand that nobody else is ever going to click the button for you. So playing follow the leader or getting some type of emotional response because you see, Brian passing 20 accounts, that should not lead you to some sort of action that you were not doing before you saw that post. If you're going to act impulsively, if you're going to execute on your emotions, then this entire conversation of compounding doesn't matter because you're not even going to get to the point of profitability. Okay, so it has been a phenomenal conversation. I just want to make sure that, risk management is always the number one priority and that you guys understand that the results, the information that you're looking for are going to come from your own abilities. Don't comparison is the thief of joy. There's no reason to ever allow that to induce any kind of emotions. Focus on yourself, focus on your own abilities, and you get the answers that you're looking for through your own results, right? If you need to fix a little impulsiveness here, you can easily see that because you're taking 10 trades before the market has even opened. Okay, that information is going to come from your results. Okay, if you are disciplined, if you are profitable, you should already have seen payouts from, prop firms or personal accounts, whichever route you're going. Then maybe think about scaling. Compounding is a very strong tool. I highly suggest we all get there at some point in time, but there is no timeline. You either get there or you don't. It doesn't matter if it takes you 1 year. It doesn't matter if it takes you 5 or 10. It either happens or it doesn't. So, take some extreme ownership in your own abilities and your own knowledge and your own education. And, that's exactly what I was doing here today. Everybody knows that I'm not a copy trader, but the interest has come across my table that I should start copy trading. At my point in trading, I need to start compounding. I need to start mitigating the risk. And the way that I see that is through obtaining more funded accounts. If I were to be copy trading, I could, mitigate the risk by taking smaller risks across 10 accounts and still achieve the kind of results that I'm looking for. Instead of
that's
only
exactly the
taking
purpose
one
of it.
account and having a larger position size. Then you're dealing with less drawdown because you're at a larger position size. So I didn't want to keep you all day long, Brian. I do highly, highly appreciate this conversation. And if there is any other topics that you think are important that we did not get to hit on this morning, feel free to bring them up.
Yeah. To add to what you just said earlier, like every person is gonna be different, and their funded amount, their profit amount, their experience amount is gonna be relative to what you are at. So like I've seen this happen before Profit Room was even popular when we were trading with live counts. If I were to make like $1,000 per day, or like my average, that's my daily goal. Someone else with like $1,000 account or $500 account, their average is going to be much lower than mine, and we're at different point of our funding, we're different point of our experience level. And same thing that reoccurs is prop firms, like people are at a different stage of their prop firm experience and how they manage it. And some people are just not ready for 20, 30 accounts. And you should really operate to what you're doing. And if you were able easily influence to other people, it's not going to help well, because we have like phenomenal prop firm traders like Trades by Matt who's been pulling $200,000 to $300,000 the last few months from Apex and other firms. And we look at the stats, and he's like the top 15 earner or the payout based on this year. And that could be a goal that you want to reach. But if you try to be motivated to get to that level too quickly when you're not ready for it, you're going to be more disappointed, because many people do not get there. The stats don't lie there. And as long as you're just keep things more relative to yourself, and be content with what you're doing. If you have one funded account, even getting the $2,000 payout could be the world for you. And different people experience level. If they had 10 accounts, getting $10,000 payout total per month is more average to them. And you're always going to want more and more. Everything's need to be paced on at your current level and what you're comfortable with. And I think comfortability matters. I've been kind of fidgeting and finding where I would like to do things with fund accounts. I've been fidgeting for the last 2 years, and my start has been rocky. If I were to restart, it would be much more different and be more slow. I'm not going to rush on things with evals. I'm not going to rush to get max allocation. I would just work at my own pace, and that's what I've been doing the last 6 months. And the results I've had that I've gotten has been better than the last 2 years combined. Like not in profitabilities, but like the consistency, which is what matters there, and the efficiency too. Like the return investment there. Like if you're trading things consistently, you could just the initial value. Like let's say you get the 10 funded on Apex, you can spend with all the fees combined, you can spend like $2,000, $3,000, whatever it may be. And if you're getting them slowly, that return, one payout on all the accounts, or like half the accounts even, could already give you a 5x, 10x return. And that should be how you want to pace yourself and go about things. And I think your start, take initiative, planning everything in that aspect is what really matters. And yeah, just basically stay relative to what you're doing, because it's you versus you at the end of the day.
I really couldn't agree more, to be honest. And sometimes I wish people spoke about these topics a little more often instead of just showing P&L screenshots.
Yeah.
Um, there's no, I mean, not looking to try to change, social media. It is going to be what it is, but the reality of the scenario is this is huge mental toll that we take trying to run this business, and you guys got to have the emotional intelligence, the mental intelligence to know yourself. Just take a look inward and be able to, realize your own self and where you stand in this process, and understanding what you're capable of, you might be able to move more efficiently.
Yeah. This whole like hour or hour and a half that we talked about, it was nothing really trading related, or trading system related, or like strategy related. It just mainly how to carry yourself and like planning and all the things that like people don't really think about. They think about like, as long as I can trade a certain model, whether it's unicorn or inversions, I'm going to be profitable. But these things really matter. And like if you when market close, or like before New York open, you need to put some time into planning on how you want to do things, and that's really half the battle. Getting everything situated, get everything set up, the trade copier, how you want to your target, and all that stuff. What's your risk tolerance per trade is, and then once it's time for war, which is market open, whatever kill zone you're trading, that's when you're trying to showcase what you've been refining lately. So it's like half the battle is planning and preparing yourself. The other half is executing, and it goes really hand in hand.
Once again, Brian, I really, really appreciate your time and all of the information. Just such a valuable conversation today, and not even for everybody in the audience, but for myself. That was the entire reason why I wanted to have this conversation, so that I could take the next step forward as well.
Yeah, this is a very informative video that I'm probably gonna recommend to other people who's starting the future space, or the prop firm space. Is It's a lot to unpack, and it's gonna be informative to people who are not experienced at this industry, or more beginners, because they're not gonna make the same mistakes that we went through.
Right. Very good. Well, I'm going to start to wrap it up here with some closing statements. If there is anything else that you'd want to bring to the table, that would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, if not, thank you again. I just can't thank you enough. I really appreciate your time, and today's conversation has been recorded. So if people want to rewatch this, it will be on my YouTube. I'll make sure to link the recording after this. If you haven't already, please do go to the description of this bio, get Brian's socials, get my socials, follow the pages. We're here working every single day, every single week. We're just relentlessly looking to learn and grow. There's a lot, in my opinion, to learn from multiple perspectives. The more perspectives you get, the more learning opportunities you have. So if you ask me, learning as a collective whole is much better than doing this on your own. You get more perspectives, you get more learning opportunities. So follow the links. You'll be notified when we go live again. Brian also live streams, so I highly suggest watching. Thank you again, Brian, and I
Yeah.
hope you have a good day.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, guys. See you guys.
Have a good day, everyone.